Hello everyone, and welcome to our backyard. We have had a cold front move through, and they the weatherman has been telling us we are going to be getting 2 to 3 inches of rain south of Houston in this area. And so we've probably already gotten, easily an inch of rain, and things are soggy right now, but in between the downpours, I thought I'd come out and do a little bit of a quick update. So, one of the things I've talked about in my videos is my love of salvia. And salvia is just really a go to plant in a butterfly and hummingbird gardener's garden. So, in my shade bed, believe it or not, my coleus is still flowering. And because of this, I am letting them go. And it's November now. And so I'm not going to have a lot of time per se to replant this bed. So I'm probably going to be leaving this in, which I didn't think I would do. I didn't think they would bloom this long. And oh my goodness, they are just happy bloomers. And of course, the pollinators really like coleus blooms. But the point of my video today that I wanted to share with you is in the background. And this is an update on just one particular salvia, and that is Salvia Madrensis, also known as Forsythia sage. So I'm going to get just a tad bit closer. And as I have mentioned before, this salvia is very unique. It's just different from the other salvias. For one, it has a very large leaf. It's like a heart-shaped leaf, and it's just got the most gorgeous green color. This is kind of gives you a comparison. This is just like a normal leaf, and then the comparison to my hand. It's just they're so striking and so unique. But what really sets this salvia apart is the buttery yellow blooms. And even though there's over 900 different types of salvia, can you believe that? That's insane. And they're all different colors. Very few are yellow. And so this salvia gets its name from the mountains, mountains in northern Mexico where these readily grow. They are so gorgeous. I guess it's this buttery yellow that just makes it for such an interesting color. Because salvias do not bloom yellow. And another thing that's unique with this particular salvia is it starts blooming at the end of October. And this is when it really shines in this type of cold, cooler weather. It's a huge butterfly and hummingbird attractor. And quite frankly, when the rest of your garden is just starting to wind down, this is when this particular plant shines. And I have a couple of new ones planted over here, and they're just starting to get their bloom spikes also. So salvia, this particular salvia, needs to be in partial shade. I did sustain some heat damage through our summer this year because we had such high heat. Generally, Salvia Madrensis, also called Forsythia sage, is hardy to zone 7, and it does create rhizomes and will come back from the roots. So we got down pretty low. For us, we got down to 17 degrees into that December 23rd, And of course, the salvia died back to the ground. And this is where I had planted one of them last year. And I got quite a few new shoots up. Oh my goodness, there's one, here, and I can see a baby one right there is just coming up. That is interesting. So they can spread by rhizomes, and that for me is a good thing because I do want them in the back of this shade bed. So I had planted 3 last year, and I have got stems coming up all throughout the back in this shade bed. And this is what I'm hoping to accomplish, to have a nice stand of these buttery yellow flowers, and they do look like salvia. See if I can, there we go. Right now the hummingbirds and butterflies are very attracted to this, and I see them over here every day, which is great because that's one of the reasons why I have this. It is, they say it's not a typical salvia just because of when it blooms and under the conditions, but it is, the structures are similar. It does have this square stem like a salvia. It is fairly deer resistant because it is part of the Laminaceae family, which is the mint family, and just the smell alone deters most things from munching on it. But the other thing too is it doesn't have a lot of pests. None that I know of, and it requires very little attention. So the only thing that I do is I do make sure that I have it has water. So in our drought this summer, I made sure that it had the water that it needed, so it did not dry up, and that's pretty typical of a salvia, especially when it's starting, it's getting established. So I did want to share this update on a salvia that I just think is gorgeous, and maybe it's because of this time of year. A lot of my other salvias have just winded down, and this one is just gearing up, and I love having salvia flowers now that are available for the pollinators. What do you think? It's pretty unique, isn't it? All right. Well, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, let me know. This is the second season now that I have grown this, and it's become a real favorite of mine in the back of my border. I'm going to go back around the front again. You will see I do have it staked, and that's because we've had some windy days and I haven't wanted it to get damaged. But they do recommend that you plant it in partial shade. This does get morning sun, so not in the full sun like most salvias. So that's also somewhat unique to salvias anyway. So it's just a little bit, it's just a little bit different, and I just really like it in the back of my shade bed border here. Very good. Well, thanks for joining me. I really hope you have a great day today, and I hope to see you again.